You two make a hilarious team.
Thank you.
I was just telling him, you kept us guessing. It was such a riot. Jennifer, I have to start with you. How liberating was it producing and playing Maddie in your comedic debut?
It was so fun. It was great. I've wanted to do a comedy for a really long time, and when I read this, it was just the funniest thing I'd ever read, so I couldn't wait to make it.
I know you guys went all in on these scenes. There were some really insanely funny ones. I want to have you break down our top 3.
Okay.
So let's start with the inspiration of how you shot the very funny skinny dipping scene, which then broke into a fight.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Wait, what are we're breaking down?
We'll bring down how we did it.
What
it was kind of
inspiration
3 separate things.
Yeah.
Like we shot like on the beach, which was one of our first days together.
So cold.
It
We
was
were shooting
really
in the winter.
cold in the evening time. And then we were on the
But I didn't complain once.
And that's remarkable. And then we were on the stage for the like ocean stuff for safety's sake, because we're seemingly at least
Sharks.
nude inside water, and there's sharks, and sharks love naked people, and so we avoided those. And then the third part was a separate thing as well. But yeah, I think it was.
Let's have you comment on it.
Let's have me say about it.
Just joking.
I wasn't there. What was the inspiration? I mean, I think everything in this movie is so grounded in emotional truth for these characters, and also it's like, what is the most uncomfortable thing for Percy to have to do? And I think that's probably just about it. It's the greatest first swing at sort of bringing him out of his shell.
And you kicked ass.
Thank you.
On that beach.
Yes,
Did you take
thank
any
you.
martial arts?
I think I would be a terrible fighter in real life, but thankfully we had a very good stunt choreographer.
You were awesome. I was
you.
rooting for you guys.
Thank you.
The funky chicken dance. Have a little screenshot here.
That actually was not coordinated by anybody.
Yeah.
So that was totally you.
It was all me.
You.
That was the only part of the dance that I incorporated.
Do you bust those moves out at weddings?
Yes, and just every day.
I love it. Were you impressed by them?
Absolutely. I mean, just that whole thing. It's like a whole crew standing around and watching you be as silly as one can possibly be, and just on stage in front of everybody. It kind of seems like other people's worst nightmares, and so it was pretty amazing to see her do it.
You two had great chemistry, and the ultimate winners, obviously the kissing scenes. What was it like shooting those? I know you two obviously have a good bond.
I don't know. I think it's probably easier to kiss a good friend than a total stranger, because I also kissed a total stranger in the movie. That's a little bit more uncomfortable, because in between you don't really know what to talk about, whereas you and I would just talk, kiss, and then cut, and then talk, and yeah.
Yeah, I think there were never any questions about what it was that this movie would ask of us, and we were just really lucky that we also loved each other and were so comfortable with one another.
Well, the premise is just very funny in itself and just so wild and out there. People are going to be very entertained. Jennifer, I'm curious to know, what aspects of yourself did you infuse into Maddie? Who's more unfiltered, you or Maddie?
I think Maddie is more everything, or I would hope. I don't, the character was written for me. Gene and I have been friends for years, and so he wrote it with me in mind, with my kind of voice in mind. So there are some similarities. She's a determined gal. She's fun-loving. I hope I have better judgment.
Is she a big fan of reality TV, like somebody we know?
No, I imagine she's somebody who doesn't even have cable.
Wow.
She's not watching Vanderpump Scandoval right now?
God, I'm only recently caught up, and wow, that was hard. That was hard to watch.
I feel like all of us are we need to know what the truth is here.
Of what? I mean, I think we know everything.
It keeps coming out, all these twists and turns.
Really?
I know enough. I can't. I was sick to my stomach last night. I can't do it anymore.
There's a lot of talk of helicopter parents in this film. Is it hard to resist when you have little kids just becoming a little bit of a helicopter parent?
Probably.
I want a helicopter parent, your child. I love him so much.
Do you feel like you could relate to what these parents were going through with just wanting to protect and do everything they can for their kid?
Yeah, of course. You just want nothing bad to ever happen, and you want to do anything that you can, but you can't. But I also have 18 more years, so.
A lot of time until
Yeah.
19. There's also so much physical comedy. So you're running into a door, you're flying into the ocean, rollerblading, which was one of my favorite scenes. Did you both do your own stunts? Were there any injuries?
No.
We did our own stunts for the most part. There was one stunt that involved the car that I couldn't do.
A lot of the car stuff was part stunt, part us. Like I was never like I probably rode on the car naked for like 3 feet of car as opposed to like actually on the road almost getting hit by a
And my
train.
favorite memory from that was while we were shooting that scene, I was helping him buy furniture for his apartment, and so he was nude. And in between, we were just like on Etsy.
yeah, like what kind of mattress should I get? Yeah, that's right. It was also like just days of us hanging out, and then it would be like, okay, we're rolling, and I'd be like, all right, I need my phone. Like name dropping trout, yeah.
Yeah, I always imagine what's actually going on when crazy scenes like that are being shot. Andrew, I'm curious to know, Jennifer Lawrence is amazing. What was your first impression of her?
I think I was so ready to be so like frightened and intimidated and like wordless, but in fact she left so much room for me to be comfortable and myself, and she was just instantly pulling me in and wanting to get to know me, and like that is exactly the way to my heart, is like, let's tell each other everything about ourselves, and we became pretty...
Who is this?
Hey, you are very mature.
He's talking a lot.
Awesome. Who is it? I'm glad he's coming out of his shell. I mean, the whole movie is you really growing out of your shell, and here you are, so it's amazing to see that. Jennifer, what's next for you? This was such a fun role. Do you have a dream role still that you would love to do?
No, I don't know if I have a dream role, because I never in a million years could have imagined playing a girl who gets hired to bring a young man out of his shell. So I don't know. I'm just gonna focus on this one and then take a little break and see what happens.